Enter a Japanese home, and the first thing you will notice is what is missing. There are no curtains obstructing the natural light, no corridors that lead to nowhere, no massive trash bins sitting in the corner, and no matching furniture sets that look like they were taken from a showroom. This is not just a design trend, it is a completely different way of thinking about what a home should do. These are 15 things Japanese homes never bother with, and why that changes everything. Stay until the end, because number one is the single idea behind every other item on this list. Once you see it, the whole thing clicks. Blinds that block the light. Here is a problem you have probably stopped noticing. You want light, so you open the blinds, but then your neighbor can see straight in. You want privacy, so you close them, and the room goes dim. Every single day, you make the same trade-off. Japanese homes skip that problem entirely. Instead of blinds, they use thin paper screen panels fitted directly into the window frame. Light comes straight through, but nobody outside can see in. You get brightness and privacy at the exact same time. The light does not just enter. It softens and spreads evenly across the room. There is no harsh glare, no dark corners, and no daily compromise. A family in Kyoto lives in a small apartment facing a busy street with no curtains and no blinds. Yet it remains bright and private from morning to evening. The whole setup costs less than a standard set of Western blinds. Most countries assume privacy requires blocking light, but Japan proved those two things were never connected. The window was never the problem. The blind was. An entryway built to impress. Most Western entryways fail at the one job they actually have. Either they are wide, empty, and purely decorative, or they are a narrow pile of shoes and coats that never found a home. Either way, the outside world walks straight in with you. Japanese homes have a small recessed zone just inside the front door. You step in, you remove your shoes, and you step up into the home. That 3-second ritual changes everything that follows. Dirt stays at the door. So does bacteria, outdoor pollutants, and whatever the day left on your shoes. Research consistently shows that shoe-free homes carry significantly less outdoor contamination inside. Japan has built this into standard home design for over 1,000 years, not as a wellness trend, but as basic architecture. Storage is built directly into the step itself. A dozen pairs of shoes fit neatly in the space a hallway table would occupy. Western entryways are designed to impress arriving guests, while Japanese entryways are designed to perform a function every time you use them. The most functional room in a Japanese home is the one you spend 3 seconds in. Heavy home security hardware. The average Western home has a deadbolt, a chain lock, a video doorbell, and a monitored alarm subscription. The assumption underneath all of it is simple. More hardware on the door equals more safety inside. Japan looked at that logic and went a completely different direction. Small local police stations sit within walking distance of nearly every residential street in Japan. Officers know the neighborhood, and they know the residents. Problems get noticed before they reach anyone's door. Tokyo consistently ranks among the safest major cities on Earth. Children walk to school alone every morning. Lost wallets are returned with every bill still inside at a rate that genuinely surprises foreign visitors. That is not a coincidence. That is what happens when safety is woven into the community rather than bolted onto individual doors. Western homes kept adding locks because nothing outside the door ever changed. Japan changed what is outside the door. The safest home in Japan does not have a security system. It has neighbors who pay attention. The junk drawer. You know exactly what is in yours without even opening it. Dead batteries, a key that opens nothing, a charger for a phone you replaced 2 years ago, rubber bands, a mystery screw, and a pen that probably stopped working last year. The junk drawer exists because Western homes never answered one basic question: where does this actually go? So, things land in the drawer and stay there for years. Japanese homes do not organize the junk. They make it impossible for junk to form. Before anything enters the home, it gets a permanent location, not eventually, but immediately. Before it comes through the door, if there is no clear place for it, it does not come in. Floor-to-ceiling cabinets behind sliding panels keep everything stored and out of sight. The home looks calm because every object already knows where it lives. Marie Kondo turned this single idea into millions of book sales and a Netflix series. Western readers called it life-changing, but in Japan, it was just how households were run. The junk drawer is what happens when the same decision keeps getting postponed. Japanese homes make that decision once, at the door. Matching furniture sets. Walk into any Western furniture store, and the showroom does the thinking for you. Sofa, love seat, armchair, coffee table, and media console. All matching, all bought together. And the room is done. Those rooms always look assembled rather than lived in. Something never quite fits, and something always feels slightly off. Japanese homes choose every piece individually with one question in mind. Does this item serve a clear purpose in this specific room? Almost everything sits low to the ground, including floor cushions, low tables, and flat platform beds. When furniture stays low, your eyes travel across open, unobstructed space. The room breathes. It feels larger and calmer without changing a single wall. Muji built an entire global brand on exactly this logic. There are no collections, no sets, and no matching anything. Individual pieces are chosen purely for function. Its best-selling products are consistently the ones that do less, not more. A matched furniture set tells you someone went shopping, but a room full of individual pieces tells you someone actually thought about it. Hallways that go nowhere. Walk through your home and count the corridor space. The stretch from the front door to the living room, the passage between bedrooms and bathroom, and the landing at the top of the stairs. In most Western homes, a surprising share of total floor area is dedicated hallway. This is space you pay for every month, yet it exists only to move you somewhere else. In a compact Tokyo apartment, a short, unnecessary hallway can consume a meaningful portion of the entire home. Japanese architects treat that as a planning failure. The rule in Japanese floor design is straightforward. Every square meter must serve a function beyond transit. Rooms connect directly or open through sliding panels. There is no dedicated corridor because the living space handles movement itself. Western homes developed hallways because rooms were designed in isolation and connected afterward. Japan designed the rooms as a system from the beginning. The corridors were never needed because the connection was already built in. Every meter of hallway in your home is a meter you paid for and cannot use. The oversized kitchen trash can. Most Western kitchens have a trash can the size of a small child standing in the corner. It fills over 5 to 7 days. By day 3, it smells. By day 5, you are avoiding that corner entirely. The standard fix has always been the same: a bigger can, a better lid, or a stronger seal. Japan approached the problem from a completely different starting point. Japanese households sort waste into several separate categories. Burnable waste gets collected twice a week. Nothing accumulates long enough to become a problem, and nothing lingers long enough to smell. Sort your trash incorrectly, and your bag gets left on the curb with a warning sticker attached in full view of every neighbor who walks past. That quiet, social accountability keeps the system running without formal enforcement. Japan's total household waste has been declining steadily for over a decade. Not through government campaigns, but because the system makes reduction the natural outcome. The West built larger containers to manage accumulation, while Japan built a schedule that prevents it. The solution to kitchen smell was never a better bin. Rooms that only do one thing. Think about how many rooms in your home are sitting empty right now. The dining room nobody touches until 6 p.m., the guest bedroom used maybe 3 times a year, or the home office that goes dark every Friday. Western homes assign each room a fixed identity and furnish it permanently to match. The result is a home where large sections sit idle for most of every day. One standard Japanese room can serve as a bedroom at night, a workspace by morning, a dining area by midday, and a guest room by the weekend. It is the same 4 walls with no renovation and no extra furniture. Bedding folds flat into a built-in closet in minutes. Sliding panels open to expand the space or close to divide it. A low table handles meals, work, and conversation without ever moving. A family of 4 in Osaka runs daily life through a 3-room apartment. Every room serves multiple functions every single day. Not 1 square meter sits unused while life happens somewhere else. Western homes are designed as if everyone needs every room at the same time. But Japanese homes are designed around how people actually move through a day. A room with 1 permanent job is empty for most of the hours it exists. Walls covered in everything. Look at the walls in a typical Western living room. There are gallery arrangements, floating shelves, and framed photos from eye level to ceiling. Every surface is holding something, and every inch is accounted for. A few years pass and you stop seeing any of it, yet the room still feels visually loud. Nothing actually stands out. Japanese homes reverse the logic entirely. They have 1 display area and 1 carefully chosen object, rotated as the seasons change, while the wall surrounding it is left completely bare. That bare wall is not waiting to be filled. It is the reason the object gets noticed at all. Designers who study how people experience interior spaces have noted something consistent. When every surface competes for attention, the mind never fully settles. Rooms with genuine visual breathing space feel calmer and more restorative over time. An interior designer who moved from Chicago to Osaka described her first months there. Every bare wall triggered the urge to hang something, but after 3 months, that urge was completely gone. She realized the empty wall was doing more work than anything she could have put on it. In the West, a blank wall means an unfinished room. In Japan, it means the room is exactly right. The most powerful thing on a Japanese wall is often nothing at all. Buying furniture before you move in. Most people follow the same unquestioned sequence. Sign the lease, buy the sofa, move in, and then spend years rearranging life around furniture that almost works. The sofa was chosen in a showroom under different lighting and a different scale, imagined into a space that did not yet exist. Japanese households flip the entire process. They move in with almost nothing: bedding, a basic table, and the bare essentials. Then they live in the space for weeks before buying anything else. They notice where morning light falls, which corner nobody walks toward, and which wall your eye finds the moment you enter. Then they buy furniture shaped around what the room actually showed them. A couple in Fukuoka ate every meal on the floor for 3 weeks before choosing a table. By the time they bought one, they knew the exact size, the precise location, and the clearance needed on every side. That table has never been moved. Western furniture buying is an act of imagination. while Japanese furniture buying is an act of observation. The best furnished rooms in Japan were always the last ones finished. Filing cabinets full of old paper. Open the average Western filing cabinet, and you will find something close to a personal archive. Tax documents from a decade ago, a warranty for a microwave thrown out years before, and medical folders with no consistent system connecting them. Most of it will never be opened again, yet all of it takes up space and demands attention every time you move. Japan built a digital infrastructure that made most of that paper unnecessary. A single digital ID connects health records, financial data, and government documents in one place. Statements arrive electronically, and filing happens online. What paper a Japanese household keeps fits in a single bag. A few slim folders, one category each for tax, medical, property, and insurance, make up the complete archive for most families. A family in Nagoya moved homes recently, and their entire document collection fit in one tote bag. At their previous address, packing the paperwork had consumed a full weekend. Western households hold onto paper because the digital alternative never fully earned their trust. Japan built an alternative that did. Paper is a backup for information you are not confident about digitally. Japan got confident and stopped needing the backup, keeping a backup of everything. Walk through your garage and look honestly at what is stored there. Do you have 2 sets of luggage when one would cover every trip? Extra towels for guests who visit a few times a year? Duplicate tools because the original was always impossible to find? A spare appliance in a box waiting for a failure that may never come? The logic sounds responsible, but in practice, it means paying every month to store things you almost never touch. In a compact Japanese apartment, there is simply no room for the backup, so the habit never formed. Japanese households buy one version of each thing. It is not the cheapest or the most expensive, but the version reliable enough that nothing needs to stand behind it. They have one sharp knife for every kitchen task, one luggage set for every kind of trip, and one guest futon stored flat in a closet instead of a bedroom sitting empty most of the year. A household in Sapporo runs a complete family home with a remarkably small number of possessions. When asked what they would need more space for, they genuinely could not answer. Every backup in your home quietly admits the original was not trusted enough. Japanese homes buy the thing worth trusting and move forward, renovating every decade. In Western countries, home renovation has become a domestic ritual. There is the kitchen remodel, the bathroom update, and the wall knocked down to open the floor plan. This involves months of disruption, dust on every surface, and bills climbing into tens of thousands of dollars. Entire television networks exist on the premise that every home eventually needs tearing apart. Japanese homes are designed so that premise never applies. Sliding panels reconfigure the floor plan without touching a structural wall. Built-in storage is made for long-term maintenance, not replacement. Modular components are updated individually rather than discarded as a set. A couple in Yokohama made 3 significant changes across several years: a home office, a nursery, and then both merged into one open family room. There was no contractor, no permits, and no structural work. The total cost was a fraction of a standard Western renovation. Their existing sliding panel system made every change possible with what was already there. Western homes are fixed structures requiring expensive reinvention every decade, while Japanese homes are flexible systems adjusted whenever life shifts. A home that needs full renovation every 10 years was not designed well enough the first time. A home that looks the same all year. Picture your living room. Now picture it 6 months from now. It will likely be identical, with the same cushions, the same arrangement, and the same wall behind the sofa. Seasonal decoration in most Western homes means Christmas lights in December, and a pumpkin in October. For the remaining 10 months, everything stays frozen exactly as it was. Japanese homes move through the year on a different rhythm entirely. Spring brings lighter fabrics and fresh arrangements near the windows. Summer swaps in cooler textures and glass objects that catch light differently. Autumn introduces warmer tones and heavier textiles. Winter adds thick bedding, low, warm lighting, and a heated table at the center of the room. None of it is expensive. It might be a different cloth on the table, a branch in a vase, or a new mat at the entry. A family in Kanazawa has lived in the same apartment for over a decade, and they describe it as feeling completely different every few months. This is not because they redecorate, but because they rotate. A small collection of seasonal linens and a handful of simple arrangements are all they need. The apartment has never once felt stale. Western homes are decorated to last unchanged as long as possible, while Japanese homes are arranged to stay connected to the present moment. One approach preserves, while the other keeps things alive, giving every room a single purpose. This is the one everything else traces back to. Western homes are organized around room identities. The bedroom sleeps, the living room relaxes, and the dining room eats. Each room gets one job, gets furnished for that job, and serves that job alone. The result is a home where most rooms sit idle for the majority of every day. Japanese homes are built around a different principle entirely. Not the room, but the activity. The same space welcomes different activities at different hours because it was designed to flex, not to fix. Bedding disappears into a built-in closet in minutes. Sliding panels open to expand or close to divide. Low furniture shifts or stacks without effort. The activity arrives, the room adjusts, the activity ends, and the room resets. An architect who has designed homes in both the United States and Japan described the difference simply. American clients ask what the room will be, while Japanese clients ask what the room will need to do. These are two different questions leading to two completely different homes. That single shift connects directly to everything else on this list. There are no wasted hallways because transit is built into the layout, making corridors unnecessary. There are no matching furniture sets because sets require fixed room identities, which flexible rooms do not need. There is no static decoration, because a room designed to shift can move with the seasons. There is no overflowing trash corner, because daily waste removal never becomes a weekly buildup. A Japanese family in a modest apartment uses every square meter productively every single day. A Western family in a home twice that size may actively use less than half their floor area at any given moment. The idea that each room needs a permanent identity is not a design law. It is a habit that Japanese homes quietly decided not to follow. Japan did not solve 15 separate problems. It solved one, and 14 others disappeared along with it. If these insights into the Japanese home have changed the way you look at your own living space, please subscribe and like this video. We are dedicated to uncovering the hidden history and clever designs that others have tried to overlook. Let us cultivate a better way of living together. Our next exploration into the world's hidden treasures will be opening soon.